Hello friends, welcome to It's a Ootsy Thing and What's for Supper. So today is Wednesday, which means it's our Connect Group Day, and it happens to be our last one of the semester. So this will be my last big Connect Group meal that I'm making for this semester, and then we'll take a break for summer. So what I'm doing tonight, I'm going to make meatloaf, mashed potatoes, green beans, I'll have a lettuce salad, and then I'm going to make a lemon cake. Now this recipe I got from a church cookbook. Actually, a cousin of mine is the one who used to always make it. Everybody went crazy over it. When they had bake sales, everybody wanted George's lemon cake. So that's what I'm going to make. First is our dessert, which is the lemon cake, so we can get it done and have it out of the way. So we'll get started. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is take a lemon cake mix. Yes, I'm using a box. This is not something you see me do very often, but this particular recipe does call for a box cake. I think maybe the last couple of recipes I've made for desserts have been boxes, but just happens to be the recipe we're using. You're going to take 3/4 cup of water and dissolve 1 3-ounce box of lemon jello in that hot water. So make sure it is completely dissolved. Once it is dissolved, you're going to pour that in your cake mix. And go ahead and give that a little stir. I am going to use my hand mixer to get it all mixed together. And I will attach at the end of the video the recipe for you. This is one of the most moist lemon cakes, so tasty, you will ever have. Now you're going to take 3/4 cup of melted butter is what I use. Now you can use oil if you prefer. I try to stay away from those chemical type oils, and so I use pure butter. This happens to be butter that I churned from fresh cream that I got, so it makes it extra rich. Your butter will make your cake a lot richer than using any type of Wesson oil. Now, if you like a Wesson oil or vegetable oil, canola oil, anything like that, you can use avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil. If you Google that, you will see there are options to do that. I have not used those. I use butter, so I don't know how they would turn out in the consistency by using those avocado, coconut, or olive oil. Okay, now you're going to add 4 beaten up eggs. I'm just going to do this a little bit at a time. And like I said, I'm going to get my hand mixer and mix this all together, but I'm just going to use a spoon for just a few minutes here. And I will shut the camera off and do my mixer so it's not so loud for you all. Okay, it's as easy as that. That's all the ingredients you need in this particular cake. Okay, I got that mixed up really good. Now I have a prepared bundt cake pan. You can either use a bundt cake pan, say that fast 5 times, or an angel food cake pan, either one. But I've got this prepared, I have it sprayed, and yes, it is well used. It's made lots of cakes. Okay. We have all of our goodness out of that bowl. I'm going to tap this a few times to get the air out. Now I'm going to put this in the oven on 350 that I have my oven preheated to for 45 to 50 minutes. Okay, our cake is done and we're ready to take it out of the oven. I am going to let it cool for just a little bit before I invert it on top of a bottle, and then I will let it cool even more before we ice it. Now the icing is more like a glaze rather than a thick icing, so it's just going to glaze the cake. And you're going to need a cup of powdered sugar. And I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not even using a measuring cup because you might have to add a little bit to it. And then the recipe calls for 6 tablespoons of lemon juice. Guess what? I don't think I have that much. So let's see what we have. 1, 2, 3. So I would say, even though the recipe calls for 1 cup of powdered sugar and 6 tablespoons of lemon juice, just kind of guesstimate on it. However it feels to you. I think I am going to be fine with 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. I used what I had in my bottle, which was not very much. And then I added a little bit more than a cup of powdered sugar. Here's the consistency that we have. It's just a nice glaze that's going to go over that cake. Okay, as soon as that finishes cooling off, we will add our glaze. Okay, I've had the cake cooling for a while. The pan is still warm, but I can still touch it. I've had it cooling, 45 minutes maybe. I've been buzzing around cleaning house and doing things, so I really didn't time it. But it's cool enough to the touch that I can hold the pan. So I'm just going to turn it over on the plate. Oh dear, here we go. If you watch the last cake that I made in this pan, I said it always makes me nervous whenever I go to take the cake out, and it came out just fine. This one did not pop out. So I'm just going to go around it with my knife and pray that it comes out pretty. Let's see here. Let's go around like this too to loosen it up a little bit more. All right, let's try this again. Oh, there we go. Oops, we have one little spot there. That is all. But that's okay. It'll be fine. Now we're just going to take that glaze that we made and just drizzle it all over the top. This is an easy cake to make that is so yummy. I'm going to grab a spatula so I can get all the goodness out of there. Because we don't want any left behind. Now, if you want a heavier glaze, then make more. Or if you're like me and you didn't check your pantry to make sure you had plenty of lemon juice before you bake the cake, well, then you use what you have. And I will tell you, I'm not real crazy since I'm kind of going to more homemade stuff, I've decided I'm not crazy about using the lemon juice out of the jar like that, because if you read the ingredients, you can't read all the words and understand what all it is. So fresh lemon juice squeezed from a lemon would be even better. Okay, our cake is iced and that portion of our meal is done. I have put this on one of the cake pans where I can cover it. So I'm just going to cover this until it's time for us to eat tonight. And we'll get started on the rest of our meal. Now I'm ready to put my meatloaf together. I have 2 pounds of hamburger meat in my bowl. I'm going to add 1 can of tomato paste. I'm going to add 2 eggs. I have, right about a cup of chopped onion and about a cup of chopped green pepper. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of Wash Your Sister sauce. And about, a tablespoon or so of Dijon mustard. My spices, I have a teaspoon of each: garlic powder, onion powder, oregano, basil, and parsley flakes. I'm just going to dump all that in. You can use Italian seasoning in place of all those if you want to. Now I'm going to add some breadcrumbs. About a half a cup maybe. Gonna salt and pepper real good. And now I'm gonna mix this together. Best way to mix it for me is just to dig in with my clean hands. See there? Now, because of the size of group that we are having, I'm going to make 2 of these because I want to make sure we have plenty. Now I'm going to form this in a loaf. I'm not doing it in a loaf pan since I'm doing 2. I'm doing them on a, well, it's not like a cookie sheet, but it's got a thing on the top so that the grease can drip down. And so I'll make it into a loaf on that. And but I'll do that and then I'll make the glaze. So this is the pan I use. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's got the top thing so that everything can drip down in it and it not set in grease. So I'm just going to form this into a loaf. On one side, and then I'll make the other one like so. And I'll make the other one to go on the other side. Okay, now I'm going to make my glaze. I'm going to wash my hands right quick. Okay, for my glaze, I have 3/4 cups of ketchup, 1½ teaspoons of vinegar. I'm using apple cider vinegar. A teaspoon of Wash Your Sister sauce, teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of garlic powder, some salt and pepper, and 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. I'm just going to give that a stir. Now I'm just going to pour that all over my meatloaf, making sure everything is covered. I'm going to bake this in a 400-degree oven for about an hour. Okay, isn't that pretty? Okay, there we go. Now we're going in the oven. Now I'm going to get my potatoes going so I can get those mashed and put my green beans on the stove. Okay, here's our meal. We have our mashed potatoes, our green beans. I did make a loaf of bread. Here's our cake. And then the star of the show is our meatloaf. I'm leaving it in the oven till everyone gets here so that it'll stay nice and warm. Doesn't that look beautiful? So everything is ready to go. It smells wonderful in here. I also have a lettuce salad that I'm going to set out on the bar that I have cut up vegetables and things for. So people will start arriving in just a few minutes, and so I want to have everything ready. So just wanted to say thank you all for following along, and I hope this gives you an idea for supper, maybe if you're going to be entertaining, or if you don't mind spending a little bit of time in the kitchen, it's okay to make this for a weeknight dinner. But it does take a little bit extra than my normal quick meal that I fix. So thanks for following along. We really do appreciate it. And we will see you next time on It's a Ootsy Thing and What's for Supper. As always, enjoy your meal.